Boy. Okay. Gotta just prepare myself. What's good? Hi. I don't know if this is working properly. Oh, let me check. I'm gonna check on my side to see if it's. Oh, it is working. Nice. Okay. Ooh. Sorry, this is my first time using this this program, so it looks really scuffed right now, and I apologize for that. I need to just brace with me here. I need to fix some stuff. Alright. The program I'm using to do this doesn't really support like putting the title in and stuff like that beforehand, so this is new to me. Prism, please stop putting yourself in my description. Anyway. Do you guys like the background music, or should I change it? I don't think I can change it, so you know what? You're just stuck with it. That's your fault. Alright, so hello, how are y'all doing? Basically what I'm just planning to do right now is I had some questions. I sent out a post a while back and ended up just not doing it in time because I got busy with stuff. And now I have to scroll all the way back so I can do some Q&A stuff. And welcome. Spring break, what is that? I don't get spring break for like another few days, so that sounds so nice, but no. I don't know what that is. I'm joking. But give me a moment. Y'all can yell at me, y'all can throw tomatoes at me for how booty cheeks the stream looks. That is fine. Let me do this. Also, disclaimer, could y'all please stop thirsting over the cane design? It's so weird to wake up at like 4:30 in the morning being like, and just like, oh my gosh, she's so hot. Ugh. How are you doing, Louise? I am doing just fine. I'm actually feeling a little bit better now that you said Louise instead of Shady. The amount of times I've been called Shady instead of Louise is really funny. Because that isn't what I intended with my name. But let me keep on going down. Alright, 26 questions. I will probably answer these and then might do some more from just the general stream. Instead of throwing tomatoes, we can make tomato soup. Word. I'm not thrusting, I'm scared. You're what? Wait, there are 2 fish? There's... What? I've not realized I'm pronouncing your name. How... Have you been calling me Lewis? I swear if anybody has been calling me Lewis, I'm gonna cry. Oh. Alright. So I'm gonna just go down these questions. This is unscripted, so I apologize. You're just gonna have my silliness in the pure form. You're welcome. I'm sorry, English is my second language. You're good. I'm Lewis. Anyway, did any games or content inspire your OCs? And do you have any tips for new artists? To be completely honest with you, I had a lot of inspirations growing up, mostly just from other artists on the platform. Danny's World wasn't a huge thing in my day, back in my day. So most of it kind of came from either the Mason Digital Circus, which is kind of where I got like the inspiration from like the beginning of my story was. And then I got a lot of inspo from just analog horror, which was huge back when I made my characters the first time. Actually, I was really into like stop motion horror stuff, especially. I think it was back when like Pibby was such a huge thing. If like Penny, I'm pretty sure was like hugely inspired by Pibby. Even I didn't intend her to be, but like that's the kind of stuff I was into during like the 2020, 2021 when I first started this. So that's essentially where that whole thing started. I don't remember my exact stuff when I was into that, but that's pretty much where it was. I was really My brother just called me. I can't. Okay, I'm live right now. You don't understand. I'm a content creator. Um, so that's where that came from. To be honest, I don't. When it comes to new artists, any tips for new artists? I don't have much to say because I didn't really listen to other people's tips when I was growing up. Sure, like later in life when I was doing like sorry. I just kind of watch other people. I got the little, if you see a little like squiggly thing on my nose, I picked that up randomly. Or like if you see, I do draw the separation of my eyes at the corners, based on Narami peak. Um, and it's just small stuff like that. I don't have many tips for new artists, but I just say like just do what you want. Pick up little things you like. Don't be afraid to experiment. My art pretty much sucked when I first started YouTube, so don't be afraid to like put your art out there and stuff like that because you'll always grow. Even if you don't think you are, like I didn't even think I was growing as an artist until I looked back at my old stuff. You are getting better. I told my brother I'm live right now, and he said, "Oh, okay, Queen." Love him. Anyway, so I don't know if you guys have any more questions. I'm gonna go down another one. I speak Spanish, don't understand anything you're saying. Uh, mi no hablos Spanish. I don't know. I only speak German and English. That's my bad. My PNG tuber looks cool. Thank you. I spent like so long making this and then it kind of got scrapped and then I just recently updated it for this stream. So, personal question, what is the movie trope that you hate the most? I need y'all to listen closely. I need you to listen closely for this. I have a lot of them actually, but I'm gonna try and narrow it down to one. And it is when characters refuse to talk things out. There's many situations in shows and movies where like just saying like, oh, this happened, or oh, why I did this, and it would have fixed the entire thing instead of having to draw it out for a conflict just to draw like episodes out and stuff like that. It's so obnoxious. That, and having just any main character, if it's a male and a female main character, they always have to be together. That's like the rule in movies nowadays, and it sucks. My PNG tubers moving like really awkwardly. I probably should have just had them not bounce when I talk, but that's fine. My art sucked too until I zoned out, listened to Deftones. Yeah, it always comes at the most random times. It really happens when it's you get inspired. It's 3 a.m. right now. Go to bed. What's your favorite character trope? Probably. That's actually a really good question. I have a huge, like, I'm a huge sucker for jokester type characters or just character crash outs. And that's gonna sound so weird, but like, if it's a valid character crash out and they start spitting bars, like, it's transcending. I don't know. I don't really have a definite answer to that because I like a lot of media and I don't like a lot of media. It's like talk and make out. That's why that's what bugs me. People really misunderstand Steven Universe because they assume that it's about friendship. When sure, that's one of the themes, but the whole point of the show is pretty much not the whole point. I'm not gonna play down Rebecca Sugar. One of the biggest points is that most of the conflicts could have been fixed with communication. I mean, just think about it. The problem with Pearl and Garnet could have been fixed with communication. A lot of these situations with the diamonds, fixed with communication. All the problems that Steven has with his dad, like, again, more things you think about, there's so many things that we could fixed with communication, and that's what I took away from it. Well, who's your favorite song, artist, band? Okay, you know what? I'm gonna pull out my playlist for this because I have no idea. I am a big sucker for like the 60s and like older music. So you'll definitely find like Patience and Prudence on my playlists and stuff like that. I don't think I have a definite person though, to be honest. I'm not like a huge 21 Pilots fan or something like that. I know a lot of people that are though. I would say like artists like Mother Mitski is probably the most popular ones I have, or like the modern day ones. I have an entire playlist for Gorillaz. I'm really into musicals. My longest playlist is just musical playlist. So, have you watched the Summer Hicard? No, I have not. You're making a grilled cheese? That's crazy. What software are you running the PNG through? This is actually so crazy. I run it through Prism Live, which is essentially a mobile app. And I just essentially I have to watch like a tutorial or something before I did this, and you have to have a bunch of stuff prepared ahead of time. But essentially, you just have all the assets already there. Like you can just essentially put it through and like, oh, this is gonna stream to YouTube, for example, and then I just like while I'm waiting or like after I do that, I attach this little video URL you see in the top corner, which has the music, and then they have already like pre-checked, like you can just choose backgrounds, which is what you see behind me, or like assets like the table in front of me. So it's really easy once you get the hang of it, but it's a lot more difficult if you're doing like if you want your PNG tuber with like your actual camera showing. Prism Live, the app, yep. It's on the App Store for both phone and iPad, so that's actually really helpful. I'm hoping to make some fan art of you. Any preferences on what I should draw? Low key, go ham wild. You can draw like you can draw a monkey or like anything, and you can just tag me and be like, hey, this is for you, and I'm gonna start like sputtering and like rolling around on the floor like a rabid dog. Because I don't know, that stuff, that's like the best feeling ever, is like when someone gives you something like that. And I always get nervous when I get gifted stuff. So I'm going to sleep. Good night. Good. Just notice the logo in the corner of the screen. Yeah. All right. OC question. Does Sunday like cheese? I don't think they ever had access to cheese until they get to the main story. And no, does not like cheese, but he does like pizza. And I'm adding that specifically as a joke because that's something common that my family makes fun of me for, is that I don't like straight cheese, and I don't like cheese curds or anything like that, but I do like pizza. I am growing to like more cheese stuff, but not pure cheese. If you're a pure cheese eater, we do not mix. Have I watched Hazbin Hotel or Hello Boss? I did, but only the first season, and that was back when I didn't really know much about it. I really don't like it. Like, I'm actually like an avid hater for it, mostly because, you know, it's a horrible representation of my religion, and it could have been such a good story about showing that even if you've sinned, you can still redeem yourself. But it just went with the really big old like fart jokes, like adult jokes, like a bunch of cursing. It just really fell flat, and not to mention that the creator is not very nice. And I know people are gonna dog on me for being a Hazbin Hotel hater. I am. Go right ahead. And like your Sona, mine is a similar eye thing, but just glasses. Honestly, this started out, I really just did not want to draw the other eye when I was doing a doodle of her before. She actually went by Garabato at the time, which means doodle in Spanish. And fun fact, I actually made decorations for my mirror that's right in front of me with her wings and her little eye thing. But it kind of just stuck, and it really helps that I made it so that my OC can change pretty much. Like, I can just change her design whenever in small ways. Because I really struggled in the beginning with sticking to a consistent persona. And if you look back in like my art journals or whatever, I changed it a lot because, you know, what I like changes, what I don't like changes, what I like, my clothing styles changes. So she can essentially just be like, she can just grow like that. There is like an actual story I'm developing for her that goes into like essentially a media representation of like my life and what I've been through, but that's a story for another time. Would any of your OCs eat lumpia? I don't know. I have no idea what that is. I'm a dumb little American. Don't come after me. What would you do if reincarnated as a slow cooker? I'm gonna sound really stupid right now. I'm a baker at most. What's a slow cooker? Is that like a crock pot? I have no idea. Quite vulgar. Yep. What is your opinion on what happened to Kane? I actually am 50-50 on it. I think it was really good for them to do that, to leave us on a cliffhanger. I am sad that he's gone, but to be honest, I don't think that he's fully gone. But that's just me being in denial. To be honest, I've been keeping up with what the voice actors have been saying about it and how it's interpreted. It's not supposed to be a crash out. It's essentially, you know, a toddler throwing a temper tantrum, according to the voice actor of Kane. And that's exactly what it feels like. It feels like a kid who doesn't really understand how his actions affect others and is just feels betrayed, and he's taking it out on the others. And also, for any of y'all in the back that missed this, according to the voice actor, or like according to like popular theories, is that he didn't say wait because he thought he was getting deleted. He said he was gonna say wait because he realized he was torturing them and it wasn't fair. And that idea wrenched me, bro. Have you ever made OC merch? No, but I am really tempted to make a design of Penny for like a personal t-shirt for mine to own, because we have like a t-shirt design maker at my house. Coolio. Never like to be able to take religion, just proceed the trope. I know the religious book told me not to be hateful. I'm gonna be hateful anyway. Yeah, people really just take if anybody is hateful and they just happen to be Christian, people blame our religion instead of the person. Yeah, people are gonna be flawed. People are gonna they're gonna be horrible people in any group. You can't name a single group that does not have a horrible person in it. And I don't know why we always get targeted and lumped together as like the hateful group when it's literally just people misinterpreting the book for their own gain instead of actually following what we're supposed to be doing. Everyone's gonna make mistakes, but if you deliberately go against it and then try to act like we're as like a shield, it ruins our reputation. And it's really sad seeing people like say that we are like horrible people. And it's like, well, dang. Like, I don't know what to say to that, because you can believe what you want, but it really hurts. Lumpia is a meaty egg roll. Oh, that does sound good. I feel like Penny would probably try that. Parker's a little bit scared when it comes to new foods, but the others probably would. I'm not even gonna read the Kane husband thing right there. I'm not. Dimension Does Circus is cool. I can't imagine I'll rewatch it. I really want to rewatch it. I actually went through like a really tough experience with someone in my life that I won't touch on. And I watched it with them, and after that, I really was in like a slump where I refused to watch the show. I have still not seen the like cooking, like the restaurant episode, just because we stopped being friends after like episode 2, and I was really scared to get back into any sort of glitch thing just out of fear, I guess. But then when episode 6 came out, I finally just pushed it aside and realized that people can't dictate what I'm gonna enjoy, and I got back into it, and I'm a much better person for doing so, because it was really fun. Favorite character from Dimension Does Circus? Probably Kane and Jax. I'm gonna sound really basic saying that, but I just relate to them the most. And they just have the best character design in my opinion. I know a lot of people, I don't really like Zubul, but that's just because I don't know a lot about her. And Gangle is kind of just not given as much screen time, so it's really hard to like attach to these characters. Ragatha is Mormon. I'm warming up to her though. I find that people blame the religion because the bad people use the religion as a shield. Yeah, that's fine. You can blame the fact that you can get mad at them for using it as a shield. We get mad at them too. I feel like blaming the group as a whole for one person's like actions is where like it just gets really sad. Because I've gotten like threats because of just believing in what I believe in. And I'm like, well, then what's the point of having a lot like? What's the point? Why? I'm sorry. I'm getting really like frustrated. Do you like the Parker's Pica since I have it as well? Yeah, I grew up with it and I didn't even realize it was a thing that I had until like age 12. And that was after I like the People's Weird Obsession episode and I was like, "Wait, that sounds a lot like me." Cuz as a kid, I was really bored and I was a really adventurous kid and I would eat like pebbles and like grass and paper and stuff like that. Or like I whenever I was really stressed in middle school, I don't recommend doing this. I used to eat like multiple pencils worth of like the graphite because I was just so anxious and I was eating it all the time. I thankfully managed to quit, and I've been doing well since. But that was do I like Knights of Guinevere? Absolutely. I was there for when it first came out, and I've been I feel like the community has definitely made me not like it as much, but when the next episode comes out, I will still definitely be there just as hyped. Yeah, you can come to hate religion because people around, I guess. I mean, then that would apply to all of them, I guess, because I feel like we're all in the same circle in that sort of sense. I would say Jax too, honestly. Yes! Alright, before I answer more in got on my bro, what are you talking about? I have a sock sea lion and I filled it with old brown rice. Oh, bro, I love that. I remember I used to have a turtle that was named like Bert or something like that. I can't show it on screen because obviously I'm a PNG tuber. I have this really old like deflated like IKEA shark, and his name is Gary. And I got him when I was like really tiny. He was actually like bigger than me at the time, and now he's like not even half my size. And I love him. I love him so much. I can't hate a person, but I'll never blame the whole community behind them. Yeah, that I feel like that should be the only right answer. I mean, like, I feel like that applies to anything. Like, you can dislike a person, and I feel like unless it's like a really bad group, like obviously if there's like terrorist groups, you don't want to support them. But I feel like if it's just something like religion, you can blame the person, don't blame the group. I feel like can we just all agree with that? All right, next question. What was the thing that inspired you to take art seriously as a person? By that, I did not mean as a career choice. I mean a point where you outright decided to learn it and experiment with it and grow a liking to it, like most artists. Honestly, it just kind of came to me when I was little. I really started getting into it when I was in kindergarten. I have really old, like 5-year-old me art from what, like on my fridge and stuff like that. I, for the most part, I didn't like have like a moment where I chose to. I just straight up did it. I mean, I wasn't really conscious at the moment. You know, you're not really conscious until you're like 7 years old. But it kind of just came to me, and I just started doing it without really thinking because it was so much fun. And you know, teachers always are telling you, "Oh, here's a piece of paper, draw on it, whatever." And so I did. I think I didn't start getting like really into it, like extremely into it. I had until like third grade, third, fourth, and I just kind of, I mean, I did it between those, obviously, but didn't start really getting like serious about it until like three or fourth grade. That's like in American times. I don't know how it applies to other like European standards or whatever. I'm gonna dip. I gotta make dinner for my dad. Okay. Okay, go Queen. I was conscious at 2 years old. You're lying. I'm not even gonna like debunk that statement. Nuh-uh. Someone has a few questions. Oh geez, this is like 6 questions. Okay. Jester Jew, if you're in here, this is your question. How many OCs except Annalita do you have? I have quite a bit. I have the main 4, and then I have Annalita, and then I have like 7 of the experiments, and then I have like a few background characters, but I don't really count them. And then I have a little, I've never shown her before. I have Finnegan, and then I have this little designer squirrel who actually helps like the main group like get information because she's such a diva, and I have not been able to capture her beauty like when I used to draw her when I was a kid. And it's actually so sad, but I'll try to like do it at some point because she's really fun, and I love just thinking about her. Meow. Who said meow? We don't. I'm serious, probably why I'm so. Oh. Nuh-uh. Anyway. Do the lab experiment OCs get happiness eventually? Not really, because they kinda all die. Spoiler alert. They kinda all die. Cause basically there's a huge war near like the end of it. I'm not gonna spoil like the stuff that happens between that. But it's around the time where Penny dies as well. You know, sacrifice stuff. They kind of all die. I mean, a few of them die before, like near like middle of the story or like near the beginning. Any Miss Marmalade fans out there, I'm so sorry. But I can't capture Wyan's beauty. Wyan. My mom likes to watch my streams, so she's not gonna understand this at all. But not really. I mean, like a few. I think Vinny's and Mocha are the only one that like get out alive, but pretty much no. If someone were to make fan art, would they have to ask you permission first? Nuh-uh. Bro, I love that stuff. Bro, I literally could be having the worst day, and then like I just get like in my mentions box like, someone made you fan art. I'm just like tweaking out on the floor, just like thank you. What did I just do? Random add tomato? What? Tomato? Bye. Okay. Would you join an art event? Honestly, it really depends. I don't think so. I feel like I have such a busy schedule at all. They'll come back. They're not dead. It's too late. Too bad. I really did get flack for killing off Parker, to be honest. And I eventually warmed up to the idea of bringing him back, and it eventually just fell into the pieces, and it was just convenient, so it worked out. But that really upset people in the beginning. My story has changed so far from when I first started YouTube, so that's why I took down the chronological order playlist, because it's just not up to date anymore. If it's gonna be experiment related, there at least we asked a narrator character just watching all this stuff happen. Not really, because I'm gonna be real with you, we kind of watched the perspective from multiple POVs, and if you really want to count it, I guess Louise, my little character, would be the narrator, because she technically is real in this world, not really. More of just like a like an inside joke. But you know, kind of like the who just said Peter Packer? You know, kind of like how like at the end of like Cat in the Hat movie, he just like shows up as a narrator. It's kind of like that. But I do definitely get the hype over narrator characters. I definitely get that. All right. That is all? Okay, good. 1. What sorcery do you use to prevent your pen from smudging? I don't know. I mean, I kind of just use ballpoint pens, and then I use like the line art markers. I'll probably do a video talking about what supplies I use and stuff like that, but bring me more pictures of Spider-Man. What? No. Spider soda when? No idea. Nobody asked that. I asked myself. We're schizophrenic on this channel. Ugh. British people watching Spider-Man be like Peter Parker. Get out. You're my very first PNG tuber. This is actually my first time being a PNG tuber as well. I wouldn't consider myself a full-on PNG tuber, like Jellybean or something like that, but for streams, I would love to be the PNG tuber, because also, if you've been on my streams before, I had a lot of scuff where I would drop my camera a lot back when I didn't do PNG tuber stuff, and it was very stressful. Can people stop with the British people jokes? Stop. Do you know many people call me British for saying aunt instead of aunt? I say both. I say aunt and then I say aunt, depending on just like how formal I am. Though I'm a northerner, but I was raised in the South, so I technically do say aunt. Don't stress yourself, queen. This is actually a much less stressful experience. I wish I could show you guys my Barbie like coffee cup that I'm drinking out of though, because it is so cute. If you guys didn't notice, I have a very pink theme going on. Deal with it. Alright. How do you draw babies so cute? I kind of just lucked out with the first one. Essentially, I kind of just took inspo from like newborn babies, like you know how they have their little eyes shut. I kind of took like mostly like kittens, like they have their little eyes shut, and then they have like the little mouths, and then they have just small chubby bodies. That's kind of what I went for, because I didn't really want to go the route of like making it look like an actual baby, because obviously for artistic reasons that would feel very jarring for my artistic taste. So, what's your oldest OC and what was their original lore? Back to my point at the beginning of the stream, my first OC was Penny, technically. There was actually a character that later got replaced by Sunday, and his name was Sunny. Funnily enough, I did not plan that. Who is actually Vanessa and Penny have been around for the longest and have like received like the least amount of changes. I remember I used to call Penny Poppy at one point, but that's because I forgot her name, and then when I found my original drawing of her and realized it was Penny, I changed it back. But I don't want to say like my oldest, but like of my OCs that I have, that's the oldest one. Vanessa used to go by Blippi, and she used to have like she used to have a lazy eye, which was actually like really cute, and she actually like had like a flower-based theme design, but I later changed it just as time went on. As you know, I got more edgy and I grew up and I went through stuff I did, like my life experience definitely changed how they were. I mean, you're Adderley's Tombstone Witch. Yeah, actually, funnily enough, my character design doesn't look like it very much, but my kind of like Minbits, my parents' character designs are more like witch and wizard themes than mine is, because mine is like a magical girl, because I'm still their kid, but I have my own spin, which is the joke. And also, if anyone's wondering, the star specifically on my right eye is because I actually had like eye surgery a while back on my eyelids, because I had like a growth in my eyelid, and so I was awake for the entire thing, and it's like literally scarred me because I freaked out because there was a fly in my vicinity, just because I was so scared. So I basically just added it as like a joke. Vanessa's my wife. Bro, cut that out. Nuh-uh. A Barbie coffee cup. Yeah, I found it at like Publix. In this, it literally has like the Barbie logo as the handle, and it has like Barbie Sports Club 1959, Los Angeles, California. I'm not in California, but that's pretty cool. So newborn babies are cute. Some look like aliens. I feel like it's a 50-50. There's a reason there's a thing only a mother could love. But I can agree, even if like a baby isn't like what you would stereotype as cute, I still think they're really cute, but that might just because of my maternal instincts. When I decided the last name Winters for my OC and his family, I forgot about the existence of Resident Evil 7 and 8. One of his sons' name is Ethan Winters. I guess is the main character of those games. I can be so real with you. I never really played Resident Evil, except I can't remember which Resident Evil I played. It's because my brother had a PS4, and I would watch him play like all the time when I was little growing up. I actually have his PS4 in my room now because Haha, you're off in college. I have a PS4. But it was like, I think it was Resident Evil 7. Is it the one where like where the guy goes into the house and he like the family's all weird and stuff like that? I think that's the one I'm thinking of, but I literally forgot. Me before knee surgery. My great uncles are wonderful people. My regular uncle. I can't say that. Purple. I can't say that. Why would you? Why do I meet so many people who's gotten sick before and I can't relate? I have a really high sickness tolerance, but when I do get sick, because I had like pneumonia for like a while back. I actually made a video on it. I still did sports while I had pneumonia without even knowing about it, and it screwed me up so bad. But I have only been to the doctor like once in the past 2 years, and one of them was just because I for my eye surgery. We had to get like a referral or whatever. If anyone put the silly number in here, get out. I watched Silent Hill. I hear like the Silent Hill fan base is really cool, but I know nothing about it. I do like the Pyramid Head guy. That is coolio. But that's literally like all I know. And the do I look like your girlfriend? Or whatever. That's like the only thing I know. Hi Tombstone, I want to say I love your art style and OCs and that you're awesome sauce. Keep on doing what you love. Thank you. I love you too. I'm so evil. I was gonna pull like the Metro Man. I love you too, random citizen. But really I do appreciate. I have a really huge struggle with communicating like when I feel like, oh my gosh, thank you. I really struggle with that, but I struggle with a lot of things when it comes to like emotions and like how to portray them correctly. So that is my bad. I don't express myself very well, but I do really appreciate those. Thank you so much. Lingo Blingo. Oh. Well, at least you have a reason not to drink alcohol. Are you okay with like fan art or shorts of fan art? Anything. Go ham wild. Actually ask somebody to just draw Squirm for like an art trade, because low-key, as long as you draw something, I'm completely okay with it. You could draw like a character from like, you could draw JoJo Siwa for all I care. Just draw. I love to see it. I made a kitsune out pipe cleaners. That is really cool, actually. Love you too, random citizen. Yeah, I don't know what I say stuff without thinking about it, and it comes back to haunt me. My OC is basically the concept of Freddy Fazbear, but if GLaDOS and Portal instead of animatronics or pizzeria. I understood absolutely none of that besides or. I have a liver condition. Oh. That's rough, buddy. I don't know how to respond to that. Like, I'm being dead serious. I don't know. I feel really bad for you. You're in my thoughts and prayers. I low-key don't know how to like properly respond to that. Metro City, it's pronounced Metro City, bro. Too much of a perfectionist to just draw. It frustrates me so much. I get that. One thing that definitely helped me get out of that comfort zone was drawing with pen. Because if you look at a lot of my older pen drawings, they're all really scuffed. But it ended up being for the better because I got more comfortable not like requiring a sketch as much. Because when you require a sketch at every moment, it really does get you in the habit of needing like to be perfect all the time. And you can look at parts of my model right now and see like the wings aren't like rendered. And as much as it annoys me, I really don't really care, or like the sleeves, part of the sleeves, but I like it. It's really just, it just shows that it's not 100% perfect, and I still really like it. Louise, the Pyramid Head guy, is a new Hear Me. Don't say that. Don't say that. Big Macintosh, I'm not hearing you out. I don't know why I sound like that one like audio of like Queso. I'm not pregnant. I'm not pregnant. What's Shocktail's reaction to episode 8? I actually watched it right before, like right as I was getting ready to go to like a sports event that I was doing, and I kind of had no reaction to it at first, but like low-key, I am dying over here. Whew, which ones are your hear me outs? I don't think I'm safe to answer that. I remember when people used to like go through my hear me out like playlist on YouTube, and you'll see that I have the snake guy from Lego Monkey Kid on there, which is like 90% of the cast. But it really just randomly depends. My current like weirdest one is probably Gene Wilder, specifically from Willy Wonka. I can't explain it. He did? Bruh. I watched it with my dad. Your dad's such a goat. My dad would never sit down and watch that with me. He ran the disfigured firefighter. You're alone on that. You're alone. Kane saw Kane, my mitts. He's an old man. I don't care, Ginger. I don't care. Am I gonna get like flagged down for saying that? I feel like YouTube doesn't like me saying that. I actually found out that you can get temporarily banned from Dandy's World for saying Ginger, even though that's the name of one of the characters. Kinger's my dad. Real. Phantom from the Phantom from the 2003 movie. My Shayla. Okay. I need to get through these questions. I have like 23 more to go. All right. What is your favorite thing to watch while drawing? I actually commonly listen to a multitude of things, but I usually stick to a few things. Body cam, like Bows versus the World or like EWU body cam. Or I usually listen to Kid is an Emo, or Apache, or Vanixic. I butchered that last name. But they're like Dandy's World YouTubers, and I really love watching their content just because it's fun to listen to in the background. But it's either that or it's just random videos, usually video essays. I just like listen to long form content rather than like scrolling, because it really does keep me focused. Who's your favorite cookie? What do you mean? Oh, from like Cookie Run Kingdom? This is a loaded question because I have a few favorites, but I would say this is gonna come as a shock. It would probably be Dark Enchantress Cookie at the moment, but I really do love Dohail as well. And if I had to go to like one of my oldest favorites, it would be Pure Vanilla or like Espresso Cookie. I'm a very simple gal. Yeah, can you stop spamming the chat? I appreciate you being here. Do not spam the chat because it makes it really hard to see other people's chats. So, Steve Fairy Cookie, yeah. That's another big one. If you had to go into if you had to ask me which Urban Break character was my favorite, we'd be here all day. I caught my dog on 2 legs. You gotta like take that to a priest though, man. I don't know how to do. I don't know how to deal with that. Silent Salt Cookie, I feel like I would really like him if his design wasn't so lacking like features. I'm not saying he's a basic character design because he's really not. That doesn't really exist. But he doesn't have many features to like latch onto that. Oh, that's really cool. Like, you know, like White Lily's like awakened form is really cool because it has so many details and like really good yummy colors and stuff like that. I would say Silent Salt's costume is one of my favorites, though, so I will give him points for that. The costume should have been his main design, personally. We don't talk about the White Lily thing. Actually, someone spoiled it for me. Whoever spoiled that for me, because I remember I was posting about, like, how the delay for the update was taking forever, but then someone freaking spoiled the death for me, and I was in shock, and I was like, thank you for spoiling it, and they're like, okay. No, it wasn't okay. What kind of sandwich is your favorite? I don't really eat sandwiches anymore, to be completely honest with you. Closest thing I can think of is like pinwheels. if you're not American, you're not like Southern, pinwheels are just like essentially essentially a tortilla with like a bunch of stuff inside, usually vegetables and meat and stuff like that. I really do like Caesar pinwheels. Best pinwheels ever. Don't fight me. No, we're not hearing you out, Skittish. No, we're not. I know it's not a question, but I'm hoping to improve my art so I can make fan arts of you. Bruh, you don't have to improve anything. You could make like a stick figure and then like have an arrow pointing to it saying Shaded-Louise, and I'd start like freaking out and crying. Louise, I'm not saying who. I mean, a lot of people die in this show, to be honest, in like Cookie Run Kingdom. It kind of happens like late in the later episodes, but not really. My drink tastes purple. I'm gonna be so real with you guys. I hate cherry and I hate strawberry flavors. If you couldn't tell, I've talked about this a couple of times. I really love watermelon. Do you have any anime? I don't watch anime. The last anime I ever watched really was like Promised Neverland, and that was like a long time ago. We don't talk. No, bear jelly train conductor? I'll see myself. Yeah, get out. Get out. Strawberry milk is gross. I've never had it. I don't really want to. The prototype? Keep that to yourself. Watch One Piece. No. No. I'm just not an anime fan. Favorite content creator at the moment? I would probably say, actually, that's a really loaded question. I'd say I follow a lot of artists. That's like a bit. I'd say probably Bose, but that's because I've watched her a lot recently. I haven't watched her in a while, but I would say also Charlotte Dobre because I also listen to that as background noise. But mostly, again, just like long form creators or like art creators. I really do like those. What do you think of the art trends that are coming around every few months? It's really hard to keep up with. You don't see me doing trends all too often because one, YouTube flags it down for reused content when it's not. But then they also say like, get inspired. No. But I feel like for the most part, the artist trends are actually really cool, except for the ones that were like me remembering that I'm only like 0.25 years old, and then they draw like a smiley face. Like, when did we gatekeep like when did we gatekeep being a good artist? When did we like age gate that? Cookie Run Kingdom oven break ship? I don't really ship people, to be honest. Aside from like I'm really trying to think. Probably almond and latte. I know I sound like really basic, but I don't really focus on ships in communities, to be honest. I'm more focused on like the character designs. Like I would also say like Black Pearl and Caviar. But loaded question like a loaded potato with a fix of bacon should. Yes. Insert violent sneeze. Yeah. Queen, do you need water? No, I have coffee. How dare you? I don't know why I'm thinking of like the audio of like Jeff Goldblum's interviews. Like, do they pronounce it Goldblum or Goldblum? Answer the same thing. How dare you speak to me? How do you like your coffee? I go for like the 70-30 or like the 60-40 rule when it comes to coffee and creamer. I currently at the moment have like the brown butter like cookie creamer in here right now. From like, I forgot, it's like Coffee Mate maybe, but water is different from coffee. No. And I hate coffee. Well, then more for me. Hey, bitter coffee. Yeah, that's why I do like the 60, 40, 70, 30, because I put enough that's like it's not 60% creamer, but I also don't like the taste of bitter coffee as either. So honey vanilla? No, I have not. I usually just stick to our coffee maker and the creamer we have at home. You guys moving across America. What's your favorite type of coffee? And the, don't understand the question to ask. What do you do in my house? That hit deep. Sorry, I'm taking off like my sweater because I had to turn off my fan so that my microphone could work properly, because otherwise just my character was just gonna like move around at like the slightest touch of the air. So anyway. Do you have any movies or series? Wait, sorry, I skipped. I'm so sorry. Another one by Celestial Moonlight. What is your favorite thing to make fan art of? I think this is a pretty easy question, probably Cookie Run Kingdom, but I really, kind of just make fan art of a bunch of different things. I kind of haven't done a lot of fan art recently. I've kind of just been busy doing stuff for YouTube, but other than that, What programs do you like Clip Studio? I don't use Clip Studio. I've used Procreate for like the longest time. I did use Ibis, but I just don't personally like the layout or how the brushes feel. Procreate is currently what I use and have been using for like the past like 2-3 years. It really is good. People always get scared of it because of the like $10 price thing or whatever, but it's a one-time purchase, and then like there's so many websites that like you can just get like free brushes. The brushes I used for this character model are actually just from a free website, literally, that's like supported by Procreate. And they're so good. I low-key forgot what the pack is called though, because I just got a bunch of them and I put it into my own little pack for that I go to, my go-to pack. Alright. Do you have any movie or series recs? I know what you mean, but I forgot the word that's supposed to be there. Any franchise you were looking forward to being expanded? No idea. Series? I would say, man. I would definitely recommend Song of the Sea. I actually just watched it with my brother. It's actually a really cute little movie, and I really like the characters that are in it, except for the brother. I don't like you. I feel like it kind of just depends on what you're into. I mean, I'm into a lot of different things, but most of the time I'm like into psychological horror and stuff like that, or just like cute shows. I would recommend Voltron, but it's no longer, at least not from what I'm aware of, on any streaming platform, so that's sad. What's your favorite musical and specific favorite song or character from that musical? Crap, that is a really good question. It's a really hard question, but it's a really good question. So I've seen a few musicals in person, and there's some that I listen to without. So I have seen Les Miserables, I've seen Death Becomes Her with the original cast. That's a flex. I'm pretty sure Hadestown, and then I saw Chicago, which I would never recommend seeing Chicago in person. I would always recommend the movie because I saw the musical in person and it was really bad. At least from the one I saw. And then Moulin Rouge was actually like really good. I think that's the one I'm gonna go for because I just really loved how like it like extravagant it was. And I would say my favorite is the one my brother's favorite actually. Roxanne. Specifically, if you listen to the one from, I mean, either the movie or the musical original Broadway like soundtrack, they're both really good. I actually considered like doing some of like animating to that for like OC stuff, but I can't animate very well, so. You ever watched She-Ra? Yes, that's actually where a lot of inspo came from. I love She-Ra so much. I haven't watched it in a hot minute, but I still think back to it and I still take a lot of inspo from it. Actually, back in like the early years of my YouTube, I sorry, I'm getting nervous, so like my voice box is getting shaky. Actually had Vanessa's voice claim to be Catra, and then Penny is to be Shira, because I didn't listen to much other than that. But now they have more varied voice claims, which I'll probably do an update about. So mad Netflix took down a huge amount of like really good media. It's so sad. Do you have any guilty pleasure shows? People are gonna hate me. I really like rewatching the movies on Disney Plus. Specifically like trying to think of it. Slaughterhouse. That's SLOTH House. Slaughterhouse. It's a comedy, like kind of horror movie about a sloth that's like a murderer, and it's none of it is taken seriously, and it's really just funny. They try to make an attempt at it to make it serious, but it's just not. And then I really like rewatching the Percy Jackson movies. They suck, but like it's actually like I love it in a sort of like nostalgic sense. But live stream, yes. Welcome. Who is your favorite character from the series? I'm assuming you mean Shira. Dang. Not Scorpia. I don't like Scorpia. I don't like the ocean girl. I don't really like the plant girl. I would have to say, this is gonna sound really basic again, Shira, just because of how much screen time we get with her and how like varied her character is, along with Catra. I also do really like the girl with the hood. I have not watched in a hot minute, so that's my I'm back. You didn't miss much. I'm just answering questions as always. I don't know who you are, but I love your PNG tuber. Thank you so much. I love making a PNG tuber was such a good decision, honestly. I'll probably have to add more expressions though, because I only have the basic talking sprites. Should I start posting OC lore? Yes. Don't even question it. Yes. Someone out there will like your stuff, and more people will like it. I mean, I didn't even expect people to really like my stuff. I kind of just expected that I would be like forced to just stay with relatable content, but people actually do really like it, and that actually motivated me to continue doing stuff, so I really appreciate that. But yes, go do it, because you will likely not, like, you like will not regret it, because at least then you have your mark on the world, even if it's just gonna sit there forever, which is the fun part. Sending a stained edges, no. I don't think I have. I probably have. I've watched a lot of stuff, but I don't know. I was longing for more Scorpia screen time. I feel like they butchered her character so bad. She was really uncomfortable to have on screen. Like she's that goofy, like you want to endear with her character. But to be honest, she was kind of annoying. But whatever. Yeah, I kind of post sporadically about my OCs, so like it's not like it's Zensire where like it's like constant stuff, like a constant stream of stuff like in chronological order. I mean, I get it. I kind of stopped doing the Wattpad, like writing the story, because I just didn't have the energy to do it. But kids are tracing, bruh. I feel like there's so many people that take inspo from her art. Honestly, she doesn't own an art style. Like even if you tried drawing similar to mine, I have no right to get offended unless you're directly tracing or anything. To be honest, people enjoy her art style for a reason, and if that's how you like drawing your art, she can't get mad. It's kind of like the person that did like jelly art that like got really mad and like defensive of like jelly art style when you don't have claim over that. So you don't, it's fine. Do you know Prism, like the magical girl stuff? No, I don't. I thought you were referring to my recording software. Ugh. Go back to your PNG preferred? Yes. Yes. I'm honestly looking at it right now. It's so much fun already. Not kissing no bricks. No, absolutely not. How dare you? I only occasionally put a little bit of sugar and like a cherry and some caramel on there, just so you guys don't feel too bad. I guess that's true. Thank you. 4 a.m. Go to bed! Y'all gonna need therapy once I start posting. I feel like that's, if you're not giving people therapy, then I feel like you haven't impacted them enough. Alright, moving on. Which of all your OCs do you relate to the most or feel a connection to? I actually, this is a little bit spread out, because I put a lot of my personal stuff in all of my OCs. I'd say the one I'm least connected to is Sunday, but that's just because I wrote him to be, not very human, which is the purpose. But, if I had to say, probably Penny. As much as I love Vanessa, and she has a lot of things that I, like, definitely do relate to, I feel like when it comes to, like, deeply connected to, it would have to be Penny. Do you have any webtoons you read or like? I don't read webtoons anymore, but I would definitely recommend this. YouTube is gonna flag me down right now. It's D, and then it's like an exclamation points. Kit heads. They're really popular. I actually got into it really late. It's such a yummy art style. I wouldn't recommend Asora. Like, you can read it if you want, but like, it's not my personal favorite. It's just bait, to be honest. But honestly, that's one of my favorite ones. I would definitely say I haven't been on there in such a long time that I can't really like do it from memory. But that's like one of the main ones that I kept up with all the time. There's probably more, but I can't remember. PNG was so cute. Thank you. I love how much people are responsive to the PNG tuber. Also, because now this is technically her, like, I would say definitive design, but again, her design is literally kind of like the Miku rule, where like it can change. And all of them are technically canon, because she's a magical girl and she kind of just changes her stuff whenever, which is really cool. That's the name. Yeah, I know that sounds really weird. Also Jackson's Diary. That's another one. Sorry. I know that's such a weird name, and it was weird to me too, but I don't know why it's named that, but it's, again, a really good story. Yeah, Asora is literally just there to bait people into getting webtoons so that they can read it, because it's kind of like book talk. People don't really join book talk unless they're like really weird people that are like fetishizing gay people. And that's the vibe I got when reading it. Because I was like, ooh, like a medieval fantasy. But no, it was really just stagnant for me. I have a question. Could anyone technically fake being a PNG tuber instead of rigging it? I mean, to be honest, I only have 4 frames for my PNG tuber. It's mostly just the software that I use that's like doing like the bouncing up thing whenever I talk. And there's like a mic sensitivity thing that it has. It's like the best thing I could recommend for PNG tubing in the modern day. I mean, it kind of gives the same vibe of like what Jellybean's PNG tuber like movement looks like. So I actually really recommend it. So if you're like on mobile, I would definitely recommend that. If you're looking for something like a bit more professional, I would definitely say you might want to experiment with other things, but overall this is definitely still a really good choice. Have you ever watched Tired Chris? I was actually super into Tired Chris content when I first started. I don't really keep up with them anymore. I did make a bit of fan art and stuff, but overall I think I just kind of started branching out and meeting more artists and focusing on my own YouTube and stuff like that I haven't watched their stuff in a hot minute. But if I did see their content on my feed, I would still watch it. Who made Jellybean's PNG? Yeah, it's so smooth. It's actually like really, really cute. I remember when there was like a huge hate train for Jellybean back when they were in like their cringe era. And to be honest, they still are, but like honestly, good for them. But overall, I still really like them as a content creator. I don't watch their stuff, but I can just stand by and like respect that at least. If you stay in the sunlight, do you become lightened, Louise? Okay, that's funny. Probably. I guess. I mean, it's not canon, but we'll make it canon, I guess. Check their ads for y'all to follow the artists because they're awesome. Yeah, do that, please, please, please. Did you say Lego Movie or did I hear that wrong? I don't think I said Lego Movie. I'll shake my booty in my own movie. It's my movie, my superhero movie. I don't know why that is stuck in my head. Will you draw anteater eating ants? Question from @localArtmaker. No. I'm just so real with you. I love anteaters, but not enough to draw them. Theodore Dexter 6540. I got some serious questions here. Do you have strong opinions on pinky promises? It really depends on what you're pinky promising on. How many bees do you think it would take to beat an octopus? I would say like roughly 50. That doesn't sound like a lot, but like I don't think that it could. I feel like that could incapacitate a octopus. Would a race car drive as effectively backwards? I would have no idea. Would avocado pits make good basketballs? No. You think scarecrows scare birds other than crows? Yes. There's actually a study that was done where scientists played two noises, and one of them was just humans speaking, like the sound of humans speaking, and then they played another of like their actual predators in the wild, and all the animals scurried away in like utter fear at the sound of just humans speaking. And they were not as sorry, my voice is breaking. They weren't as scared when they heard like the sounds of their actual predators, which is just a sign to show that humans are very terrifying to the world. What time is it for you right now? I'm in Eastern time, so it's like 4:12 p.m. Name them Kevin Coop. Do you know anteaters T-pose when threatened? Yes, I actually know a lot of animal facts, which is where I'm going to segue into @odddanny. I don't like you. We don't claim you. This man lies about animal facts so much it feels like second nature. Cause this guy is so bad. I mean, just for an example, you guys might not know @Danny, but I have personal beef with him. Not really, but like actually. He once said that a certain snake had 400 milliliters of venom. Milliliters, like the bottles of like like the big old things of pop or like soda, whatever you call it. That. What a lie. That's such a dumb thing. That's not even close to true. The most has like around 100 at most. And that's like the big snakes, big boy snakes. It's actually impossible. Yes, and the thing is, he got so mad when an actual like reptile biologist, I think that's what they call. I don't know, reptology. I don't know what they call it. Got like corrected him. He wasn't even like mean. He's like this like middle-aged guy that like was just correcting him, and then he responded saying that like they should debate one-on-one because apparently he thinks that he's smarter than a like guy that studies and holds reptiles. He was just being so dumb about it. And the thing is, I know for a fact that he's literally just like a white copy of another like actual person that does their research, and it's a black creator. So like it's a white guy ripping off a black guy. His name, if you want to look for actual good animal facts, Casual Geographic, he does really well. And just for like a girl like me who struggles to focus, he actually makes it really engaging. Don't watch @Danny ever. Anyway, herpetologist, thank you. Why would he lie about that? I think he just does his research really bad. I think what he was looking for is like not ounces. What's like the thing below liters? Crap. Like 400 milligrams. He mixed up milligrams in milliliters. Think about that. My dad works at a snake and he told me that they have 400 milliliters. Believe me, my dad told me. My dad owns Roblox, guys. People are horrible. People that keep exotic animals and don't know anything about them. Yeah, for real. People really just buy animals and then just don't know how to take care of them. Because, like, anybody, if you own a monkey and you're giving it, like, alcohol and stuff like that, I will never like you. Follow a great channel who does bugs. Yes! That's another really good one for, like, insects. If you're looking for, like, specifically good, like, reptile facts, then I would recommend, like, Clint's Reptile Room, who's, you know, a guy that actually studies and went to college for what he does and knows a lot about reptiles. And then if you're just looking for general, really well researched, like, animal facts that are just, like, a little bit easier to digest and more, like, fun, I would recommend Casual Geographic. The PNG artist is Tintiferous. Yes. I saw an influencer with a koala trying to feed it literally anything else than what a koala eats. Bruh. Another little fun fact about koalas is that they actually, if they are not on the tree and eating the leaves from the tree, they will likely not recognize it as food because they're so, I love them, they're so dumb that that if you put eucalyptus leaves, which is their main diet, on a plate, they wouldn't see it as food and they would starve. They're so dumb. And people just be like, oh, a koala's hugging me. No, ma'am, it sees you as a tree. Just admit that it's a little bit dumb. We can have dumb animals. A spam risk interrupted the stream. Oh. Is it weird that a female wears a suit? It kind of depends on where and why they're wearing it, honestly, because I feel like sometimes it can be tacky. But overall, I mean, there's no laws against it. Go ham wild. They can't eat eucalyptus without YouTube. Koalas are so incredibly stupid that their brains aren't. Yeah, if you literally look at a picture of, like, a koala brain, it has no wrinkles. You know, the things that, like, the more wrinkles a brain has, the smarter, the more intelligent the brain is. The koalas literally have no wrinkles on their brain. And the koala disappeared mystically. Oh, isn't that always convenient when YouTubers can't handle what they're taking care of and what they were abusing for views. Smooth brain solidarity. Smooth. Alright, next question. Ibly Obi. Oh goodness, you have a lot of questions for me. Do koalas have very well hearing? No idea, but I do know that they don't know what rain is. How tall are your OCs? I haven't made a fully, like, size chart out. If roughly I would say Sunday is, like, 5'11", Parker and Vanessa are roughly 6'3", 6'4", and Penny is 5'4". Poor girl. The koalas are just on that 0.4 GPA activities. For real. Are any of them biologically related? Technically, no. I mean, Vanessa and Parker technically have, like, similar biological structures, but that's just because what they're mutated by is so similar. But none of them are technically blood related. I don't want to see none of y'all putting Penny and Sunday together because they are still siblings. And if I see any of that, I will sue you. Not sue you, but I will do everything in my power to get it taken down. Alright. Their experiments in North Korea, and it kind of sounds like North Korea has taken over most of the world. I actually answered this question to them in a reply a while ago. Pretty much the only countries that haven't been taken over in this World War IV situation that my characters are in right now is Australia, like New Zealand, or like most of South America, and America, and I think Russia. But that's because most of the experiments can't survive in the climate, like the varying different climates. And just because most of them have, like, really heavy artillery, which is kind of just how I narrowed it down. When's your birthday? It would be August 3rd. I'm not giving you the year because that's weird, but I will probably make, like, a birthday video if I get around to doing it. For Louise in chat, where's one thing I should add to anything I roll? But, like, I don't know. It really just depends on what you're going for. I am not the person you should go for advice. Is my favorite is still alive. Yeah, Britain, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, guys. You're kind of done. Italy, gone. Ukraine, gone. um, who is your favorite OC? Probably Vanessa. I would consider Louise also one of my OCs, so that would probably take the cake, just because I see myself as her, like, genuinely. I kind of forget what I look like sometimes. But, have you based any of your OCs off yourselves? I mean, Noah is heavily based off of, Noah and Annalita are heavily based off of, just bad people I've met in my life. Because, it happens to everyone. Uh, so I feel like it definitely helped me write more, like, accurate characters, like that, in ways that aren't just the stereotypical, I'm a villain. Actually, fun fact, Annalita wasn't her original name. She was actually just, Annalita was originally, when she was first shown in my videos, she was actually just a random employee. And then I finally decided to make her, the main character. Her name was already Annalita at that point. I was planning to change it, but now it's stuck. I'll probably change her name, maybe, if I get, like, more serious about, like, making an actual show or something like that. Just, a, like, a name that's, like, actually derived from, where they are, which is Korea. What fandoms are you in? Too many to list. Honestly, I'll probably update my description to add all my fandoms, because there's a lot. I'm in a lot of really niche ones. But how does your world have World War IV? Because World War III technically already happened. I haven't really planned out exactly how that war started. But World War IV is when North Korea essentially tries to take over the entire world, because they found a way to mutate human bodies and, all that sort of stuff. So technically it's a world war, but most like, accurately, it's just a world takeover. I love British people. Yogi, the accents really annoy me. I'm sorry. I love you guys. It bugs me so much as an American. I remember when kids used to, like, fake having British accents in school. Why? Because you just sound kind of obnoxious. No offense to you guys, but, like, hearing someone go, "Yes, ma'am, can I have a bottle of water?" You guys can't even say that. It's kind of, I have really weird, like, sensory preferences. It just bugs me. I'm sorry, you guys. Where can I find the lore? Honestly, just whenever I try to update a video. I'll probably make another playlist with, like, chronological order or something like that, or, like, extra info. But for the most part, it's just kind of sporadic. As a Brit, depends on who you talk to. Yeah. Finnish accent is worse. I've never listened to a Finnish person, so that is my bad. I hate my own language. I can understand that. A lot of my family is from Germany and Norway and, like, Italy and stuff like that. Which is actually why I'm currently learning German and stuff. But the German accent is kind of obnoxious. I feel like a lot of them are, but that's just me talking as a Southern lady who has no idea what I sound like to others from Norfolk. Bro, the Norwegian, like, folklore is so interesting. Actually, my grandma, who is a adorable little Norwegian lady, she taught me how to make a bunch of, like, the desserts and stuff like that. And I say desserts very, like, loosely here, because to nowadays standards it wouldn't seem like a dessert, but it's like chocolate bread, but it doesn't taste chocolate. But it's kind of like a bitter taste, but that was, like, apparently, like, really popular over there as, like, a dessert, and my grandma made some. Oh, sorry. I read Norfolk because I think that's like another way that we call, like, Norwegian folklore. I'm so sorry. I didn't. I'm not very aware of I'm not very aware of England. I've never been in England. I'm so sorry. That was my bad. I just had a rant about Norway, and I didn't clock that. Ooh. The Operator 37. I'm not sure if anyone's asked this before, but what gave you inspiration to create the Lament of Men and Puppets? I really don't know, actually. I don't have like a definitive answer for that, because again, when people ask these questions, they kind of have like the mindset of just like, there has to be like some sort of definitive time when you decided this or that, or like what specifically got you into things. I'm not one of those artists who has like, I watched this show and it changed my life. I really just decided to do it at one day, and I've been better for it. Was something you thought about a long time ago? Where my OCs technically started was back in like 2020, 2021. Parker wasn't even in the vision, like in the picture at all yet. He didn't start being a thing until like a year after Across the Spider-Verse. So to be honest, it technically started there, as I said earlier in the stream, just because I was really into like analog horror, and it was originally going to start out as like a home video analog horror series, and I ended up scrapping it. So, who's your favorite OC? Vanessa. Again, I'm just going down these questions from a recent post, from a post I made asking for Q&A questions. Who's your favorite OC, specifically by a design standpoint? That would have to be torn between Penny and Vanessa. Probably Vanessa, just because she has such a varying base design. I would say that Penny holds the candle as like the best end season design, but I don't want to spoil it. I think you guys saw like a smidge of it in a video that I made of Annalita, Sunday, and her together and like the afterlife or something. But I really wanted to go heavy for Penny's design, just because she is so heavily inspired by like scene core, which I was super into only like a year or two ago, and I still respect. But what music taste does each of your OCs have? Honestly, the best I can describe, again, Penny has like a rebellious music taste, so it would be like, again, like Mother, like Asteria, Barely Human, like all those like scene artists. Parker kind of listens to like 60s, but that's mostly just because it sounds nice and he doesn't know any English. So that's probably why. I would say if a random thing, I feel like Sunday doesn't really listen to music, and then Vanessa listens to hard rock. Why does your avatar have the star in the eye? It's just kind of like a cool little like design thing, because it was such a huge thing back in like 2016 to have like a character with like a missing eye or like a black eye, like a like Sashley sort of thing. And I was really hugely inspired by Sashley at one point, but it's now just like an inside joke for like an eye surgery I had a while ago. Nothing's like changed about my eyes. I actually look really normal, but it's just an inside joke for me. Alright. If TLL Map was a book, what would the blurb on the back say? I have no idea what you mean. the blurb on the back? They have like a devious smile emoji on there, so like I don't know what that's referring to. When did you get your style from? Honestly, it comes from a variety of places. I remember I learned how to draw my nose how I do on my model, like from seeing a random fan art of Jay in his like white and blue rockstar outfit and like Ninjago, because I got really big into Ninjago at one point, and that's how I like learned how to draw heads and sort of stuff, like where I got like my inspiration to do it more like that. I would say probably artists like Narami is where I kind of got my start in wanting to do stuff, but I never copied her art style. I really just, back in the day, I would scroll Pinterest and I would just kind of do art studies. But I'd never really have like a straight answer when you say like, where'd you get your art style from? Because, well, it came from a million different places, literally. that describes the story without giving anything away is called a blurb. I cannot think of anything on the spot, to be completely honest with you. I probably wouldn't have a blurb. I'd be one of those people that like is really annoying because I don't have a description of the book on the back. Whew. Okay, down to the last few questions, and then we can just move on to chat and talk, or just chill and chat. Was Finnegan already an OC before he started making content, or not until he started making content some of the canon started changing? Actually, it would be the latter, because for the most part, I kind of just randomly made a child character. And I knew I wanted it to be really cool, like based on a really cool animal, and that's where I got like the mantis shrimp. She kind of just appeared, and then I slowly started weaving him into the story where I felt like it would work. It's kind of how I felt for Parker, because he was not a part of the original story, like, at all, and he kind of just came out of nowhere, and then I just slowly worked him into it as my story started changing. So it's kind of like getting swept up in a tide. Like, you weren't there originally, but you got swept in, and now you're just rolling down the stream. Is there a specific reason you picked up art? No. And last question from the Q&A section is, would you mind if I did a small art study using your art? You're a huge inspo for me. Go right ahead. Go right ahead. I have no problem with that. I mean, as long as you're not, like, directly trying to copy my art style for, like, because this technically is my job, and my art style is part of my recognition and, who I am as an artist on this platform. But low-key, if you like certain parts of my art, go right ahead. I cannot stop you, and I don't want to stop you. Have fun. Alright, so that is all for, like, the Q&A questions, specifically. I don't know if you guys have any extra questions for me. I'll keep this live on my section on my YouTube if you guys want to watch it back or something like that. But I have no more questions to answer. Let me see. I have not heard anything. I remember when there was a huge blowout because I remember when there was a huge blowout because Gooseworks was talking about how they didn't like their show anymore, and people were like freaking out about how like the fandom is disrespectful. I'm not saying that it wasn't right, but like I feel like everyone jumping on the train to be like, guys, that wasn't nice, just because another person talked about it is crazy. I have a question, but not related to your OCs. Okay, you can. I mean, I'm not. There's nothing wrong with that. Is bagel better than donut? No, I don't really like bagels. To be completely fair with you right now. TMA? I don't know what TMA is. I drew my TMA OC. What? Oof. The Magnus Archives. Took me a second to clock that. I know nothing about it. I don't plan to get into a show that's that long. Should I get a bearded dragon or a leopard gecko? Bearded dragon. Ugh. I don't know if you guys want me to like change the background noise or something like that. I don't have much. It's a horror podcast. I thought it was like just like a story. Oh, gotcha, Kuda. That show. I have nothing against. Bro, I opened YouTube on like my laptop. What happened with Kitten Sneeze? Oh no, not longest solo ever. We don't claim him. I don't like him. What'd you miss? Mike, the Q&A is over just because I have no more questions to ask. So we're kind of just chilling here until I decide to log off. Ugh. Bro, what is this music? Is this like Mice on Venus? Am I tweaking? Can someone fill me in? Apparently Kitten Sneeze used to be a Ooh! Ooh! I'm gonna trust your word on that for now until I go and if I decide to look into it on my own. I haven't watched QnA in a long time. That's also where a lot of my inspo came from. But ooh, came from some old drama. The only thing I know regarding the situation is that longest solo ever is not a good guy, and I know that because some of my moots had a really terrible situation with him. But that's not for me to disclose. But honestly, I've never met the guy. I've never interacted with him. Pretty sure from what it looks like, he's just mostly on Twitter, which I'm not on Twitter. So I don't know what he's doing on there, but I don't know. Twitter's really weird. I love hearing about our drama when I don't watch that many. Yeah, I listen to a lot of like people talk about certain dramas, but I have no idea who they are. Like I remember hearing about I remember listening to a girl talk about the Hair by Chrissy thing, and I've never heard of them to be honest, but I listened to it and I was like, oh, that's not cool. Twitter's scary. That's my consensus. What I need to know that happens on Twitter will probably just reappear in my YouTube feed if I really feel like I want to talk about it or listen to it, that whole sort of thing. I don't think I am worried about it too much. I remember I listened to like Ticks and Roses drama when it was happening. That was crazy. I don't know why faking a condition is like so fun for people when it's not. I remember one of the biggest things back in when I was a kid is people faking depression. Little fun fact here: I had like major depression back when I was little, and most of it was just because of my like hormones and stuff like that, but also really bad friends growing up, and it really affected me. And just seeing people like joke about it was like, no, Becky, you don't have depression. You got sad. You got a C on your math quiz, or that Brendan didn't date you. Grow up. You and your perfectly combed hair and all of your perfectly done hygiene. Keep your mouth shut. What does TMA stand for? Magnets Archives. Bye, Louise. Chav, I have an exam. Study. Go study. We got you, twin. Don't worry. Faking depression, would anyone do that? Bro, yeah, I don't know what it was. And then there's the people that were faking DID. Like people faking DID was such a big thing back in the day. And by back in the day, I mean like last year. I guess just the idea of not being basic and having more than one personality, which I feel like almost everyone has, some depth to the personality. I guess that's so much fun that you had to pretend to have a disorder that like genuinely like disables people. Like in some cases, like I don't get the appeal. Ugh. I'm sorry to go through that. It's good. I'm feeling like so much better now that my life has improved and I've, grown some skin. So honestly, you don't need to feel like pity for me. It happened. It was an experience. I learned from it. It's not my life. And then people who make like their pronouns and stuff like their entire personality, please get over yourself. That was a random tangent. All right. I don't know what to talk about. Oh, Nafali. New Callum. Ugh. With SH. Yeah, I remember I used to get made fun of for doing it when I was struggling really badly. Like someone straight up called me slit wrist in school. I nearly punched that kid because I didn't because I was a little people pleaser and I was too nervous to say anything. But why do people make fun of like people for that? Like and also why do you want to have it? There's no way I would ever want to go through that again. Nobody would choose to go through depression again. Who's kitty sneeze? I don't know. Favorite ant species? The one that looks like a panda. I don't know much about ants, honestly. Someone told me dead in my face that my autism was sexy. Bruh. You can't see my face. I am actually flabbergasted. And my model's just smiling like, oh yay. Ugh. Social anxiety. Yeah. Kids are mean. I'm being so real with you. I'm older now and I can acknowledge kids are mean. Like really mean. But you know what? I don't know. Society. I'm just gonna pull a Joker. Society. Also, I don't know. Some of the backgrounds on the program I use, like the background I'm using right now, I don't think this one's AI, but I think there's like multiple others that were AI. I can't tell if this one is though. If I find out that the one I'm using right now is AI, I think I might cry because this is like the only pink background I have. The person scared me? Yeah, it should. That should not be like normalized behavior. I thought you're like 14. Yeah. What about it? Anyway, creepy player in Dandy's World. What? Most hated owners in Kitchen Nightmares. I'm reading out my feed right now. I also listen to like Kitchen Nightmares and like Hell's Kitchen and stuff like that, just for no reason. I'm trying to find something to talk about. I listened to Melody Moon, as another person I just have in the background while I work, just because their voice reminds me a lot of like when I used to be really monotone when I talk. Even like right now, I sound really monotone. But whatever. La 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 la. Twin rabbits learning that hay tastes good is the kind of stuff that's on my feed. Or fly laugh? I've never heard of that. It's really good to do. It's yeah. Whew. We got you, twin. We're good. We got you. You're not alone. Honestly, stream might end soon just because I've been sitting here for so long. I might just like start up another one, but that's like about a different thing if I can get my program to record my screen. But overall, Christian rock band. I've never heard of them. But that sounds really cool, not gonna lie. If I can get my software to have my screen recording, I could probably just work on stills, so I can have more expressive animation or like my little character model. But other than that, nah. Do you listen to rock? Depends on which rock band. I mean, my favorite one is Metallica. Sorry to sound like a basic weirdo, but how do people listen to music? What do you mean? I listen to it with my ears. I'm sorry. By the way, I can move! I can move! Baylor Donuts, no. How do you make streams work, by the way, with the mouth moving when you speak? I use, I forgot what it's called. Prism Live Studio. And they just have already preset things where if you like put your own like 4 stills in, one with open mouth, one with open eyes, one with closed mouth, closed eyes, open mouth, closed mouth, or I low-key forgot. It has the thing, it's just you just need like 4 things to keep it there, and then you can just choose the animation, like when you talk, you want it to go up. So she can move, I can move. I can move. I'm here. I can move. I can woo. Low key might shut off in a second. Making a fictional company that has my other OCs. Do you know how companies work? No idea. No idea. Sorry for the random question. That's fine. I low key just don't have an answer for you. I didn't realize I could like move it until like right now. Wait, I can have effects? Hold on, I'm learning stuff with you as I go along. Buh. Buh. Buh buh. Bruh. Thanks for chatting. Y'all are fun to hang out with. Thank you for being here. This is really fun. I'll probably fix my layout next time I do this. But yeah. Bye. Bye, guys. Bye. 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 Bye.